Good morning, Tonopah Valley. So as you can see, I'm here by myself today. So lucky you, who knows what's going to come out of my mouth. So thanks to all of you who have tuned in, and don't worry, for those of you who are seeing this later, we are going to post it and share it with you so you can be the most up-to-date on the details of this closure. So I want to begin with by reading something that was provided to us, the direction from the Arizona Department of Education earlier this week. And it says, school closure is not a complete shutdown of school operations or instructional obligations to students. So the reason I'm commenting on this is because there have been several questions about why not close school? Why are we still doing this? Well, we've been directed to do so. So during school closures, staff are still expected to engage in work-related activities, and students and families are expected to meet the instructional requirements of their teachers and schools. So schools will continue to do what they can to provide instruction to students, either remotely, packets. There's a variety of different ways, as you guys have seen, we've been trying to do that. We must all work together to work on this plan for continuity in education. The reason I mention this again is because there are continuing questions about why we are open, and number one, we're required to be. We want to continue to provide as many resources as we possibly can. And knowing this, we're working to kind of redesign some of our materials for next year to address things that are happening as a result of this closure. So I hope that provides a little bit of explanation as to why we're still here. But the buildings are closed, not open to the public. If you need to come in for any reason, you are going to have to call the school office. There were questions about Chromebook distributions for seniors, questions about locker cleanout, questions about picking up band instruments. Locker cleanout we're not going to do right now. We want to do our best to keep everybody safe, and there's, unless there's a specific item in a locker that you really have to access, we might be able to help you, but you guys are just going to have to hold tight on that and wait for further instruction on that. But you can expect that to remain closed until the mandatory closure of schools is lifted. The Chromebook distribution as well for the seniors, that's something that we're going to work on. And to my knowledge, right now, only one person has paid for their Chromebook, and that person was an early grad. So expect more information forthcoming, but that's why it's really, really important for students and parents as well to check emails as often as you possibly can. If you've got questions, reach out to teachers, reach out to me. There are office hours. I know there's still some confusion around that, but the office hours were designed as an open period of time where students could access their teachers directly, either through a phone call, a video chat, but that is protected time for their students. So those of you guys who have been logging into others' meet times, please don't do that. Our teachers want to be able to answer questions related to their instruction and things like that. So, I think I do need to mention maybe a little bit of etiquette in those Google Meets. You guys, be cognizant of how you are dressed and where you are, okay? Perhaps turn off your video. But yeah, some of that stuff, you guys, it can be recorded. So keep that in mind as well. You don't want this to haunt you later on down the road. So please, please, please be smart in what you're doing and what you're putting out there. If you're telling me you haven't received any information from your teachers, please continue to let me know, but also check your Google Classrooms, okay? We have some continuing confusion about Google Classroom and emails from teachers and what students are supposed to do. It should be posted to Google Classrooms, or information would be sent to students in an email. If you are one who has requested a packet, then that is different, okay? Packets are only being given out to those who have requested them, or those that we know do not have access to the internet. And it's a duplicated, it's duplicated work. So what is done in the packets really reflects what is being done in the Google Classroom. You don't need to do both. It's really one or the other. We're trying to limit the packets as much as possible because, again, we want to be careful about the spread of germs, which brings me to another thing. Chromebook repairs, Chromebook issues, only on Fridays from 10 to noon. We are only aware of those who submit incident reports or have possibly reached out, in another means to me directly, or maybe Mrs. Pacifico. We have worked with the tech guys to inform them of that. But if we don't know, we can't reach out to set up your appointment. But it's Fridays only, guys. So today from 10 to noon, if you see me coming out with a mask and, all biohazard gear, that is to protect you, okay? So please don't take offense. None of us know really if and when we contract a virus, and I really do not want to give it to anybody, and I don't even, we don't know who has it. So when I approach your car, and please stay in your cars with a mask and gloves and give you hand sanitizer and wipe off Chromebooks, it is for your safety, okay? So it is not meant to be offensive, but we are doing everything we can to maintain the well-being of everybody in the community. Okay, you know what, before I forget, the packet pickups. There will be a packet pickup for those who have requested again, and those who don't have internet on Tuesday, okay? Tuesday during the food pickup between 9, I believe that's 9 and 11, Ruth Fisher and Tartesso, and I think there are a couple of others who may have made some alternate arrangements, but general pickup locations, Ruth Fisher and Tartesso. The packets will be at the schools during those times. After that, dates for those pickups will be April 14th, April 28th, and May 12th. That is it for the remainder of the year. The packets will contain additional materials to get you through the span of 2 weeks at one time. Again, like I said, we're trying to reduce the transmission of any germs. So really, if you have the ability to access the internet in any way, shape, or form, that's ideal to keep you and the rest of your family safe. All right, let me get to the questions that were brought up. Okay, do I have any idea if graduation will be canceled completely or plans for moving the date back? As of right now, we're not planning to move the date back, but it has been canceled in the traditional format. Understandably, I'm sure most of you know why. We are going to do something, okay? So that plan is in the works. It's gonna be awesome, okay? Whatever it is, it's gonna be great. There have been questions about refunds for cap and gowns. You are welcome to reach out to Balfour and inquire, but my suggestion is to hold on to it, because whatever we do, may involve you in the cap and gown. And some of you might actually want pictures with a cap and gown and your diploma. That is something you can still do. So you can reach out to Balfour and inquire. I'm not sure if they are going to issue refunds. Those cap and gowns, the original plan was for them to come to us and we would distribute them in May, right before graduation. That plan is still, we're still working that out. But since we weren't going to receive them until May, we still have a little bit of time to define and decide what that's going to look like. So hold tight on that. Short answer, graduation the way we know it is canceled. There's no postponement to it, but it's going to look very different, and the coming weeks seniors will receive more information. Okay, I think I answered that. However, the announcements and other graduation related items that some of you may have ordered, those will be mailed to your house, okay? You guys, if you didn't already know this, prom is not going to happen. The senior trip, any trip, nothing school related is going to happen. And we are just as sad about it as you guys are. There will be refunds for the senior trip, the Italy trip, all those trips that happen. But unfortunately, those companies are working it out on their end, and we have to wait until we are given the money back. I know there's been really specific concern about Italy because that was a large chunk of money for many of you. We are still waiting. The companies have been gracious enough, or the hotels and all of that have been gracious enough to say, yes, we are going to work with you. But if you've been paying attention to anything at all about what's going on in Italy, I think you easily recognize some of the delays to that. So short answer, yes, there will be refunds. I Don't know when they're coming. You're just going to have to be patient and, know that we have no control over any of that. Are there any plans on ending the school year early? No. If you were here for the very beginning and heard the statement I read from the governor and the state Department of Education, that's not even an option, okay? We cannot close school. We are physically not permitting the public to be here, but we are doing everything we can to outreach to students and provide you the means to continue accessing education. That said, we also do not want to hurt students. I've received lots of questions and concerns about grades and what is this going to look like and my credits. You guys are going to be okay. So what you do complete, you guys are going to get points for it. So submit what you can, and if you can't, do not beat yourself up over it, okay? We recognize some of the barriers. We recognize the challenges. We know that there are things going on in your homes and that you are scared, and we are doing everything we can to make sure that we're not hurting you either. So do what you can. We will give you points for that. So really look at it as this could help you, especially those of you that maybe needed some extra points. Take advantage of this, okay? Keep in mind your teachers will be communicating information with you directly, and if you have questions, talk to them, go to their meet times, send them an email. They are your best sources of information on what you can do in their class specifically. Okay. Our teachers going to be doing grading. Like I said, they're going to be issuing you points for what you do complete. What it looks like may be different by teacher. So again, communicate with your individual teachers directly. Are we going to have finals? You know what? I don't think so. That's a good question. I will have that answer for you beforehand. And I'm sorry, I did see that and I forgot. But as far as I know, we don't have a good way to do that. And especially with losing the route to the normal instruction, I doubt it. I would expect more project-based things that would count for points, but not a final exam like you are typically administered. But again, your teachers will communicate with you directly on that. I did talk about the lockers. We're holding out on that for a while. Talked about the refunds. Talked about Chromebooks. Still going to hold out on that, you guys. Again, please be patient and recognize it is just for your safety and for that as our staff as well. Okay, I think I answered this. Let me see. Refunds, graduation, for yearbooks. Okay, I talked to Mr. Tapia about this, and yes, there will be yearbooks. We don't know exactly how, but there will be yearbooks. And when I say don't know exactly how, that means the distribution. Again, really, we want to make it through the month of April with being as hands-off as possible in minimizing any kinds of transmission, because as of right now, we know that April is kind of a critical month in the state of Arizona in regards to this virus spreading. So please, you guys, keep yourselves safe, and trust me, I know people who are going through this right now, and you are going to wish that you would have reduced your exposure in every way possible if you end up getting it.
There's a question about standardized testing, AZ Merit.
Oh, AZ Merit, you guys. I think I might be more happier than anybody about this, but no AZ Merit this year, okay? It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to hurt the schools. That was like really one of the best pieces of information that came our way, because we were really concerned about that as well. So no, you guys are off the hook for this year. Next year though, different story, but as for the remainder of the year, no standardized testing, except ACT and SAT. You guys might already have noticed that those tests have been moved to June for the time being. So if you had registered for any April or May tests, please log in your account. You will see those have been moved. And then if you still need to register, so juniors, you need to register. Send a million emails with the links, but if you don't know, come to my office hours. I will give them to you. Send me an email. Reach out whatever way you want. I will give you the links, but it's really just Google ACT or College Board. You can register for those tests, and they will be in June at this point. The AP exams are going to go online, so students will take those in their homes. Those dates were actually released. They will be released today. So those of you who are taking AP classes, you should have been reached out to by your teachers already about this, but I need specific count and names of those who will be taking those tests by the end of today, so I can order your exam. But like I said, that just applies to a small number of you. So, okay, let me look at this live piece here and see if what kind of questions have come up. Let's see. I think I've answered it for the most part. There are questions about graduation. Yep, gonna be graduation. It's gonna be awesome, whatever it is, we're working on it. And standardized testing side, so yeah, no AZ merit for the ways that it affects us. Again, no ASVA, that's been canceled. Anything in schools have been canceled and postponed to June or later, with the exception of the AP that will be going online. All right, let me take another look at my question form. Hey, and you guys, I really, really appreciate those of you who have been reaching out, who have been asking questions. Please don't hesitate to do that. You know, as you can tell, this is a rapidly changing and evolving thing, and we really, 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 you know, are doing everything we can to give you guys, well, I mean, it's gonna look different, everything we do, but still want to be able to replicate as much of what we can. Okay, I don't see any other questions right now. I will send out the questionnaire again. Right now our plan is to continue providing you with updates every week. We will share this, you know, we'll do our best to get the information out. And if you guys know people who maybe don't have the internet and have the way to access them, if you wouldn't mind helping disseminate that. I mean, I know we're still trying to find a few people out there, so if you could help us do that, we'd appreciate it.
No repairs next Friday.
You know what? I forgot that as well. There will be no Chromebook repairs next Friday, okay? So if you are listening and hopefully reading all the things that come out, and I know you guys, I know there's a lot. I'm just trying really hard not to miss anyone. No Chromebook repairs, so if you need it, you gotta be here today, okay? 10 to noon, we'll be here. You're gonna see me with a mask and a gown and a hazmat suit. So we'll see you soon. See you later, Tonopah. Have a great week.
That's pretty good.